Hey there, this is Patrice Washington from patricewashington.com, where we chase purpose, not money. So today I want to talk to you about something that is really important and something that I have definitely had to learn for myself. And that was how to talk to my honey about money, how to make sure that my husband and I could get on the same page with our finances. But before I do, I want to make sure that I remind you to subscribe so you can be the first to know each and every time we put out a new video with great content that's going to help you redefine wealth in your own life. Okay, so here's the deal. Why is money so important? I'm sure you've heard at one time or another that money is actually one of the number one causes of divorce in this country. But here's the truth, and here's what I honestly believe. I don't think that it's money. Because money, it's just a piece of paper or it's a bank account balance. It's not something that can actually start an argument with your spouse or become a problem. The thing is, communication about money is what holds couples back. And it's what causes, in a lot of relationships, what's called financial infidelity. And yes, it's a real term. And it's a big thing. But let me tell you, that doesn't start in marriage. A lot of times I believe that starts way before you get to the altar. It begins way before you say, I do. Now, think back to when you were dating, or maybe you're dating now. At what point did you really start to talk to your significant other about money? See, some people think because they know what a person makes or they're aware of the job title and industry, so they have an idea, or maybe someone's told you their credit score, but they've just told you verbally, you feel like that's enough. Now I know all about how they handle money. But those are so surface. It's not really getting deep, and it's not going to help you have thoughtful conversations about how you manage money, but then even how you set goals together in the future. When people are dating, a lot of times I also see that folks will hide how much money they make because they don't want to be used or taken advantage of. And then you have people that totally embellish it in the first place and make themselves sound so much better when really in black and white, they're kind of a deadbeat on paper. So I want to tell you 3 questions that I really believe every couple should have the answers to about one another. And this is going to save you so much heartache and pain and hopefully save you a divorce, as long as there's no other issues going on, right? So the first question you want to ask is, how did your parents handle money? See, we all have a certain way that we deal with our money. And you might feel like I was just born to be a saver or I was just born to be a spender. But that's not actually true. A lot of us develop a financial blueprint by watching or imitating the people who raised us, whether that be your mother or father or grandparent, some adult who had influence over you. And without you knowing it, those beliefs could actually be driving how you interact with money to this day. But here's the thing. A lot of us get upset with our significant other and think that they're just trying to do things to spite us. But the truth is, they might not even have awareness around what's so bad about it anyway. Because if they've watched other people do things similarly, then they just think that that's the right way. So when you get to the root of how their parents handled money, it'll really help it be a little less frustrating. But I want to encourage you to also show more grace, because just because someone doesn't do things the way you think they should, if that's the way they grew up, then that's what's always been right for them. Now, the second question is, what does money really mean to you? Because I really believe that nothing has meaning except for what we assign to it. And so you might have 2 people that really mean well, that want to get on the same page, but the reality is they both feel that money represents something totally different. So in my own life, for me, money has always meant stability and security. For many years, I just wanted to make sure that things were taken care of, that the bills are paid, there's no bill collectors calling, and that we can just be comfortable. But on the other side, my husband grew up in a family where money really meant love. It meant affection. It meant if I give you a gift, this is how I show love. And initially, I didn't understand that. So when my husband would try to show love through gift giving, the only thing that I could think about in the back of my head was, how much did he pay for that? Is this something we really needed? Did he budget for that? And I know I'm the money maven, and so I might be the only nerd out there that thinks this way. But the truth is, a lot of couples come together and end up having tension about money. But really, if you got to the root, if you got to the meaning of what money means to you, then you can learn to start to just accept your significant other's use of money for what it is. And so for my husband and I, we finally were able to come to a common ground where he likes to give gifts. It's a part of his love language, right? And so he gives gifts, and this is how he shows love. And instead of pushing him away by saying, we didn't need that, or I didn't want that, or was that in the budget, I've learned to just accept that this is who he is. But he's also met me in the middle, because the first thing he normally says now is, I got it on sale. And that way we can high five and be happy that we both understand what money means to each other. And so we try to meet each other in the middle. And the third question you have to ask is, despite our differences, how can we create and commit to shared financial goals? Because the reality is, if you two are in love, you're in love. And if you're not going to break up because she's a spender and you're a saver, then you got to find a way to work together to make it happen. So you already know what their strengths and weaknesses might be by this point if you've asked each other the first two questions. Now it's time for you to decide who is the person that's going to actually lead the charge on taking your financial goals to the next level. Now I want to hear from you. Do you and your honey struggle when it comes down to talking about money? Or have you ever gone through financial infidelity? That's when you've kept something about your finances from your significant other, or maybe they've kept something from you. I recently interviewed a couple, Ty and Talat from hisandhermoney.com, who actually overcame financial infidelity, and it was pretty bad. So if you want to tune into their interview and hear how they overcame financial infidelity and created hisandhermoney.com to help other couples like you, then join me on the Redefining Wealth podcast. You can check out the podcast playlist right here on YouTube, or you can find it at patricewashington.com. Now, it's really important that I hear from you and that you really interact with us, because I'm building a community of women who want to grow with me. That means you want to live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. Want to learn more? Download the Redefining Wealth podcast now. There you'll get more insights on my 6 pillars of wealth, and also hear inspiring interviews by some of the country's leading entrepreneurs, executives, authors, entertainers, and athletes on how they use these principles to fuel their finances and success.